and welcome to the Health Hour right here on TV Mall channel 173. My name is Faraz and I'm joined of course by our resident health expert Jumo. Now we have so much of electricity that goes within our body on a daily basis, but what happens when it starts running out? You feel lethargic, you don't have the confidence to do your activities for the day. Right here at TV Mall we have a solution for you. This is the Elexoma Medic. Now generally this retails for a price of 7,999 Rand, but right here at TV Mall, because we love to give you value for your money, we are cutting it down to 6,999 Rand. Jumo, electricity.
Yes.
Your body needs it. Your body needs it to make sure that you have an active day. But there are times where it just starts to evaporate.
Well, this is like recharging your batteries. I think when you look at it, most of us, we don't ground ourselves enough. We don't actually wear the right kind of shoes. We're wearing those shoes that have actually got plastic, soles, and that does not earth us. That does not ground us. So when you look at it, you're supposed to actually discharge all the positive ones and then get the nice negative electrons coming from the ground, which we don't do to charge you up naturally. In fact, there's the reason why kids normally don't like wearing shoes. Look at that. We're talking about energy. Let's start you at 20% energy, and then you've got cortisol, which is actually the hormone that is good for stress, but in most cases, when you've got too much of it, then it becomes a problem. But look at what happens. You now have charged yourself up with the Elexoma, and then we're having a very nice balance, where now you have got more energy and you have got less cortisol. So when you've got less cortisol, this is now bringing the balance, because now you can be able to balance that stress, because why? The cortisol that you've got is enough to make sure that it can regulate the way the systems much nicely without putting you into overdrive. And this is why we've put this to just demonstrate what we had that that illustration, which was simply showing us that you're starting from a level of low energy. Because you've got that red, which is like your cortisol. So there's too much cortisol. When you've got too much cortisol in the body, then it means you are in a state of trying to run away or trying to fight, or at times you even freeze, which is not good for you for concentration, which is not good for focus, which is not good for alertness. But then, when you have used the Elexoma, what then happens is charges up your brain cells. You've got about, 90 billion. Could you believe it? You've got about 90 billion neurons, brain cells, which you've got. And these now gets charged up, and the Elexoma does it well by actually charging them up to between 500 and 800%. So that means now you are nicely charged up, your cholesterol levels are down, and that means you are now in charge, you are much more alert, you can function better, you can execute those tasks better, and when you look at it, you can't heal well when when you're in a panic state. So this is a nice way of making sure that you are starting well and the body can start healing, because the body heals itself by putting a little bit of micro amperage of electricity into the body. By using the Elexoma Medic, we are helping you to make sure that the body now can start healing itself.
Right, Jumo. So we have the Elexoma right here. We have a battery pack over here. How does one go ahead and actually use this system right here?
What I like about the Elexoma, this comes with 8 programs. This is an 8 program. So if you look at it,
there we go. It's on.
That's on. You can hear from that noise. So this is what you would actually use this with the first program. We're not going to run it, but we're just going to demonstrate in terms of you just have to clip. This is like, this is very easy to the earlobes. Right, so you would clip it to the earlobes. And you would start running the program. And that's automated. This is 25 minutes for program number 1. Because this runs from program number 1 to program number 8. And we'll explain the different programs as we go on. But the first one is very important and it's needed for every procedure that you would go through. Because the first one is the one that recharges your brain cells. This is the one that's helping you to make sure that you've got it all well, you've got all the neurons, all the brain cells charged up nicely, you have reduced the cortisol like we've done. In fact, as you're reducing cortisol, we've got lots of things that are also happening. We are also reducing tissue damage. We are also reducing inflammation, then which are increasing acceleration of healing. So this is bringing everything to balance to make sure that the body can start healing itself.
And of course, just by switching it on by a simple touch of the button, you are able to go ahead.
That's where it would actually start. But now when you look at it, you need to now start by making sure that you start on the intensity, where when you press the bottom part, you can see now there's 10 that's indicating there, which means the intensity is on 10. But the intensity can go up to about 550.
Wow.
As you can see now, it's about on 60. But now, how much you would use would depend on how tense you are.
All right.
You would find that if you are too stressed or you are too tense and too anxious, you might find that you have to push it up to over 300, 400, even to the maximum of 550. But as you get relaxed and you use it on a regular basis, you'll find that you will use lower intensities, because now the body is nice and calm, and you are much more relieved, and you are working better. You are much more at ease. The cortisol levels have been reduced. Inflammation is being taken care of. Tissue damage is being taken care of. We are accelerating healing as we increase your energy levels. And this is exactly how the Elexoma would work. And like I said, the program number 1 will always be the first one that you use, and then you would follow up with all the other programs depending on what you want to achieve.
Yes.
So when you look at it, I'll just quickly go through the other programs. But all of this, you will find it in the manual, because we've got a very nice manual that has got everything in there. Program 2 and program 4 is for acute. You know, if you have got acute, pain or acute challenges, then you use that program 2 or program number 4.
Right.
Programs number 3 and programs number 6, you would use them when you've got chronic inflammation or chronic pain, something that has been happening, say, for over 6 months. So you want to or maybe you had a broken bone and you want to heal it. You would now start using those programs. So those how you choose the different programs depending on what you want to achieve. But let's look at the other programs. Like you're saying, we said it's an 8-program process of the Elexoma. Program number 5 and program number 8, those you use to improve cell oxygenating the whole body. So this is to rejuvenate the whole body and make sure that it makes it easier for healing to take place. It makes it easier for pain to be eradicated, because you're providing a good environment. And then program number 7 is when now you want to make sure that you get rid of that pain, and you want to make sure that there's cell rejuvenation. You would use program number 7. But with all the other programs 2 to 8, what then do you use? We've got electrodes.
Oh, wow.
So this comes now with electrodes, which now these are self-adhesive.
Okay.
So there's extra electrodes that you use, the extra codes that you use, and then you press that you are not using program number 1 anymore. Then you would put this on the areas that are affected. So for example, if you were dealing with pain on the hand, I would then put that on the hand, and then I would run the program that I've chosen. If it was acute, I would run program 2 or program number 4. If it was a chronic pain that has been going on for more than 3 months, I'll probably choose program number 3 or program number 6. So this is what you would replace after about maybe 2 months of using. You might need to buy more of that. If they're not sticking nicely, then you might need to buy more electrodes. This is what you use on the points where you want to heal the pain.
Right.
But before you do that, you must always remember to run program number 1.
All right. So there you go, Jumo. Programs number 1 to number 8, making sure you have an effective and healthy body. And here's a testimonial just to give you an idea of how the Elexoma has worked perfectly. Right. So this is a gentleman or a person by the name of J.E. I used to have severe migraines. Now, when I started using the Elexoma Medic, not a single migraine until today. And by the way, I also sleep better. And now this person is saying, I would recommend the Elexoma to everyone. This is J.E. from Johannesburg, just giving an idea of how the system has worked effectively. Now, Jumo, I want to talk about sportsmen or sportswoman.
Yes.
This is a perfect system to go ahead and use it.
Definitely. So as you can see, I mean, we're taking care of that cortisol. We're making sure that you've got the right energy, as we demonstrated on that diagram, reducing the cholesterol, the cortisol levels, and increasing the energy levels. And that is helping you. I mean, one treatment can get rid of those migraines. So when you use one treatment, it can last for several days. Just to show you, again, because I love that, because you're looking at starting from low energy.
Yes.
And we are building you up to high energy.
And of course, they're raising the cortisol right there.
So as you're we're charging you up, and the cortisol, which plays a major part in stress management, but when you've got too much of it, it works at your disadvantage. So we want to make sure that you don't have too much of it, so that you can balance your stress levels, you can have enough energy. In fact, you're producing true energy, because as you use the Elexoma, you are producing lots of ATP, which is that energy molecule that you need. But when you look at this for us, what I love about, we're not just talking about something that is just does not have research. The Elexoma has got 70 years of research, more than 70 years of research. So that's, 7 decades, more than 7 decades of research. So when you look at that, there's lots of research that has gone into the Elexoma, and that's why when you look at it, we're talking about putting microamperage, putting a little bit of electricity into the body to make sure that we realign the cells and they can start working well and the body can start healing itself. Because the body heals itself, but you just need to make sure that you give it enough, because we are electricity, we are run by electricity. But most of the times, we are not fully charged up and then we don't function well. This is what the Elexoma is offering you. For the athlete, like you mentioned earlier on, this is giving you the focus, the alertness. You need to make decisions that quickly when you are an athlete. But also recovery is very key when you are an athlete, which is very good. But when you're an athlete as well, what comes with that is pains and injuries. You are now using the pads where you have got the injuries. You now stick the pads there. They are self-adhesive, and then you can treat that area. But you always start by running program number 1 to make sure that your brain cells are fully charged up and everything is going well. Then you can choose the other program now that you use with the pads to make sure that you can treat that particular area that is affected. And I can tell you, you can cut down or reduce the amount of time that it takes to get that part healed and get, even if it's a broken bone. This is something that has been used by top athletes, including people like David Beckham. They know about using micro electrotherapy to make sure that you can treat injuries and make sure that when you've got broken joints and bones, you can actually treat them. And that speeds up healing in a very interesting way, because you are putting the right amount of electricity, making it easy for the body to self-heal.
Well, there's another testimonial that we have just to reinforce just how special Elexoma is and how this is a system that has helped. This is from HH from Peter Maritzburg. The Elexoma continues to help people, some with chronic back and hip pain. Now, my sister, who had an acute rib pain after she fell in the bathtub, found relief after several treatments on program 4. Jumo, again, you saw 2 testimonials. This is something that is working, and I encourage everyone to go ahead. If you have hip problems, if you have any sort of problems, the Elexoma is something that will go ahead and work for you. It is for the price of 6,999 Rand, exclusive to you at TV Mall. From myself and Jumo, bye-bye.